Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about some of the skills that most designers ignore, especially when starting out, but I've seen also middleweight and senior designers miss these kind of skills, and it took also myself a lot of time to really develop them and to master them, and it's always a work in progress because with each and every project you're going to learn more. So this is my top 5 skills which I want you to focus on. The very first one is presentation skills. Now, as a designer, you're going to present to either the internal team or to the clients, and it's crucial to really understand what the presentation process is all about. And you must understand your audience, and in case of the client, you want to speak in a way which is very easy for them to understand. So don't use technical jargons or go too much into the technicalities if what you want to communicate is the overview of the project or just things which aren't really that relevant for that specific client or that specific project. So this is definitely something which you should consider, and in order to improve your presentation skills, you always want to outline what you want to communicate and also what are the very important points in an order of hierarchy. So even before you note a presentation or even before you create a PowerPoint or any presentation medium which you want to do, essentially you want to have a outline of the communication points in order of hierarchy. So you're going to have the primary importance point, and then the secondary, tertiary, and so on. And basically establishing that even before you do the presentation, it's going to be a game changer because everything is going to be more simple and you're going to have a clear structure to present to either your client, audience, or internal team. So the second skill, which I think it's very, very important, and it's also quite overlooked, especially from junior designers, but also I've seen this also with middleweight designers and some senior designers, which is unfortunate, is the fact that function comes before aesthetic. Now, as designers, we are artists, but we're not really artists. There is a difference between art and design, and there's been a lot of definitions that have been given during the years, but essentially as a designer, you want to accomplish a goal for the business or for the client or for that specific project. And function always comes before aesthetic. Aesthetic actually is something which helps the main function, the main goals, the main KPIs, but you always want to keep a focus on achieving the specific project goals and its relevant KPIs. So this is something which I see quite often, people just focusing on creating cool designs which are beautiful visually. Maybe they even spend like 2 weeks on a cool UI design animation with an interesting flow, but if that specific project does not solve the business goals and the KPIs, it's useless. It's just a work of art, and it's not really something which is going to help the client, it's going to help that specific business or achieve its goals. So this is definitely something which I recommend you to focus on, and that's why when it comes to the UI UX, I have this philosophy that the UX has to be rock solid in order to move to the UI design phase, because you can have the most beautiful website, you can have the most beautiful looking dashboard, but if it's not in line with what the users want, if it's not in line with the goals of the business, it's going to be useless and it's just going to be another cool looking design floating around the web. So this is definitely something which is very important to improve, and in order to improve in this area, I wanted to learn about user experience and especially understanding the client goals and also the client in general. So asking them questions about their business, doing UX audits, doing business overview audits, and things of that nature. So it's always very important to understand the context in which you're operating and the direction that they want to go to. And this is definitely going to help you out and pay dividends throughout your whole career. Now, the third point, it's scalability. Now, a lot of designers, especially when they're first starting out, they think in boxes. So they think of a project in a sort of box and the limited area. But what I recommend you to start thinking about is even if you have a 5 pages website and you need to create just those 5 pages, I want you to start thinking about is the structure that I'm creating going to be flexible enough for the project to expand to 100 pages? And the same is true for a dashboard. I mean, it works if we have 2 or 3 pages, but what if you want to scale? And just that mindset, that way of thinking is going to help you out while building the UX elements, the UI design, and also thinking way of scalability. And that's where design systems also come into place, because essentially design systems, one of the major benefits of having a design system is that it's scalable, it's reusable, and it's fast to maintain in the long term. And I know that for some very small projects, creating a design system can be overkill, but generally speaking, creating a design system is definitely something which is going to help you and your client achieve goals faster and more efficiently. So I actually have a lot of training when it comes to design systems in this channel. So feel free to check out one of the previous videos on this topic, because I do have a lot of videos, and I'm planning on making more in the future. But definitely understanding the context behind design systems and really just the mindset behind it is going to help you out a lot in your career as a UI, UX or web designer. The fourth skill is just to have a professional attitude. And that's something which I'm seeing some designers are missing, meaning that they don't really understand that design is a job. And I'm not saying this in a way that like design is a job and you can do contract work, you cannot partner with other people. But the main reason I'm saying this is that you have to be professional, and you have to understand that you're not playing around. Design is something which has to be taken seriously, and clients do not pay you for creating some good looking visuals and that's it. Clients have businesses, they have expenses, they have families to maintain, and you have to treat your job as a designer accordingly, and understand the context in which you're operating. So when a client, for example, asks you a revision because that specific area has not been covered in the design, and it's something which is important for the business owner, you want to understand the reason why they're asking that revision, and if it really does help the business owner, just do it. Like it's you must understand things like this. You absolutely do not have to take things personally. That's something which I saw quite a few designers do during the course of my career. But yeah, this is definitely something which I recommend you to focus on and understand. And last but not least is the ability to adapt. Now, within every project is different, and you must understand that you're not going to have the answers for everything. So you must be willing to adapt, search, and learn. And within every project, there's going to be some things which you're going to have to do in a different way than your previous project. So just maintaining a mental flexibility, understanding that each and every client is going to be different, and sometimes you're going to need to do some things which maybe aren't directly relevant to what you did in the past. So you always have to maintain an open mind and try your best in order to achieve your clients' goals and KPIs. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. It helps for keeping me motivated to do more videos. Also, it helps the YouTube algorithm, I guess, things of that nature. Also, leave a comment. I'm super curious to hear your thoughts on this. And if I missed any important skill, which I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of other skills that you guys want to learn about and mention, please leave it in a comment. It can also be a good inspiration to create another video. So I'm definitely looking forward to your comments. And if you're interested in following me also on Instagram, I have an Instagram account where I leave Instagram stories pretty much on a daily basis, so feel free. You're going to see the link in the description. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.